Good morning. Can I have your attention real quick? Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us on this beautiful day. Well, team, we finally made it. After many years of planning and fundraising, more planning, we're here to break ground on the Alliant Energy LightLine. Couldn't be prouder to be here. I'm Mike McGrath. I'm the president of the ConnectCR board. And I'm going to put my hat on right now real quick. But only in Cedar Rapids could we turn trash into a phenomenal community asset. Want to thank our friends here, Carmen. Where's Carmen? Carmen, thank you. The folks here at Linn County Solid Waste, thanks for hosting us here in this beautiful building. Again, another great recreational resource in the community that was renovated from trash. So thanks so much. All right, sorry, Carmen. I can't wear my hat all the time. So the bridge has been over 10 years in the making. It was initially just an idea by some residents. We're going to have one speak here, who's also a member of our board, who just courageously thought to think big. And it was because of that we are here. Otherwise, I can't imagine the city or anyone else would have even dreamt up doing this. It's not just going to be another bridge. It'll be one that will be an iconic destination for our city, one that will attract walkers, bikers, tourists, and offer a safe crossing over the Cedar River, which we currently don't have, and shine a light on our community, serving as a beacon to invite people to join us. The road to this moment has been paved with contributions from both in their vision and their contributions and donations. None of this would have been possible without the amazing support and commitment of the City of Cedar Rapids, which has been our partner in this public-private partnership. And this is, by the way, the largest public-private partnership in the history of the city. They've been here every step of the way for us. Because of their ownership of the bridge as well, the bridge will be alive and taken care of for generations to come. So really a unique aspect of this project. And with that, I'd like to introduce our fine mayor, Tiffany O'Donnell. Tiffany, thank you.
Wow, what an inspiring room. I was talking to my friend Steve Sovereign, and we both were like, wow. And my only response could be, it really speaks to this project. This doesn't happen. We go to a lot of these things, and I'm not sure we have this many people at most of them. So it says a lot about this group here and the people that brought us all together. I want to thank Mike, certainly, and the entire ConnectCR team, the planners, the fundraisers, and dare I say the visionaries. Mike touched on that a little bit. We're full of them in Cedar Rapids. The behind-the-scenes doers. None of this happens without our private partners. Everybody who's here today believed that something better was possible from this piece of property, and then they simply got to work. So now, I've always believed that a bridge is never just a bridge. It is a symbol of connection, of movement, of progress. It tells us that even when there are things that divide us, rivers, roads, ideas, we can always build something that brings us back together. And what better way to usher in May and National Bike Month than by celebrating this project that will not only add to our outdoor recreation culture, but literally put us on the map. This bridge connects directly to the Cedar Valley Nature Trail, a path, as you all know, that is part of the two national treasures, the American Discovery Trail and the Great American Rail Trail. And that means you can hop on your bike here in Cedar Rapids, and with enough grit and a few granola bars, you can go to either coast. So today we certainly celebrate more than a structure. We celebrate a real partnership between the public, and I want to point out my public friends who are here, my predecessor, Mayor Brad Hart, who is here today, as well as my council colleagues, Councilmember Ashley Van Orney, Councilmember Dale Todd. We would not be here without you. Thank you. Yes. For sure. For sure. Councilmember Ann Poe, Councilmember Tyler Olson is here, Councilmember Scott Olson, Councilmember Scott Overland. If I'm missing any, raise your hand. I'd hate to do that. And certainly our city manager, Jeff Pomerantz. This is the public part. It's the private sector that we celebrate truly today. That's how things happen. Cities are often expected to do everything, and I will tell you unequivocally, the great stuff doesn't happen without this. So to our private partners and our dreamers and our doers, thank you. We know that this bridge links more than two riverbanks. It links our present to our past that includes workers crossing here every day to get to the Sinclair plant. We'll honor them with markers that remind us that this city was built by people who showed up day in and day out to do the work. We know that these amenities will also infuse additional investment in our very important and critical downtown core and our district Czech Village and New Bohemia, adding new connections between these two growing areas. You've heard me say it often, welcome is our language in Cedar Rapids, and welcome is an invitation for everyone, residents, visitors, to come together, not just to visit physically, but once they're here, to get together, to share ideas, to be involved, and help move this community forward. That spirit of inclusion, of shared purpose is what brought this project to life without a doubt, and it's what will continue to drive us forward, because the truth is, the more lasting progress happens when we all do it together. So let this bridge not only stand as infrastructure to us, but now as inspiration, proof that when people come together with a shared vision and a willingness to do the work, there's really nothing we can do. So thanks to everybody who's here who made today possible. And now it's my honor to introduce somebody who's a part of a team that made this all come to life, Amy Davis, Vice President of Alliant Energy.
Thank you, Mayor O'Donnell. I'll keep our remarks brief, but I'll just say we couldn't be prouder to partner with ConnectCR, the City of Cedar Rapids, and all the community leaders who are gathered here today as we take this next step for this project and ultimately helping to continue to improve the quality of life in Cedar Rapids and for all the surrounding communities. We can't wait for the Alliant Energy LightLine pedestrian bike bridge to connect neighborhoods and trails and really serving as a new iconic landmark in the community. And now to tell us a little bit more about its history and how all of this got started, I'd like to introduce Steve Sovereign, who will take us on a little journey of the past. Steve.
It's important to acknowledge Alliant and what it's meant for this project. Not just for this part of the project. They gave us the bridge that you see out here. They gave us, along with a very few others, $1 million. They also gave us Cedar Lake for $1. The price was right. So thank you very much. And there have been lots of people and some seminal events that I'd like to share with you today. In the fall of 2014, 11 and a half years ago, one of the community visionaries, Dale Todd, whose name will come up by Cedar Lake and by this project, was at the time chairing the Southside Investment Board, which is a group of property owners in Czech Village, in Nubo and Czech Village. And he said, you know, the market has just been completed. It's a huge addition to the community. He said, what next will drive development and create excitement? He challenged the folks present to come back with big ideas. A couple of days later, my normal path down here, the old bridge remnant appeared in a new way. It was a sleeping giant of possibilities. So that idea was taken back to the board in its next meeting in December of 2014. The board said, that's a great idea, run with it. A couple of members of the board stepped up and said, we want to help. And that's Lejeune Chatama and Mel Andrega. So if you wouldn't mind giving. And so we sought some of the folks who really knew what they were doing about these kind of projects. One of them was Chad Lambie, then with Crandick. Chad, raise your hand if you would. Chad, yeah, give him a hand. Chad joined us with ideas about the bridge. He knew the history of this old space. He was immensely helpful in getting us off the ground. We brought in some members of the city who have lots to do with bike trails and what have you. So we moved on from there, and the first presentation that we made was with, as I see Ann Poe, the City Development Committee. There that day was Monica Vernon, Ann Poe, and Jennifer Pratt, who unfortunately can't be with us today, which is a real shame, because she is the city member of our group that really has driven the project. But Monica and Ann recognized the possibilities. I remember Monica saying, you know, this is not just for bikes, it's for families, it's for strollers, it's for kids. They said, go forth and do what you can to make this happen, and so we did. We began meetings, informal meetings with Jack Evans of the Hall Foundation, because nothing happens in this community without the benefit of the Hall Foundation. Is Julie here today, by the way? Julie. Julie Johnson is now the Jack Evans. You've really improved the look of the office. Then we developed a design committee of 30 members of this community to say, what should this look like? It was a great meeting, and it got us started off. In that meeting was Ron Corbett. Ron Corbett came up to Dale and I afterwards and said, I think the city should be in on this project. I think they're in for $5 million. I thought it might be a little far-fetched, but Ron produced. So Ron, followed by Brad Hart, followed by Tiffany O'Donnell, have provided the kind of leadership that this couldn't happen without them. There are some others involved as well. When Felicia Weyrich was walking around the lake and thought something could happen with Cedar Lake, she went to Dale Todd. They formed the Friends of Cedar Lake. They then joined with the bridge, and it became ConnectCR. So the vision continued. Then one of the brightest things that Dale did, among many, he recruited Mike McGrath. Mike was asked to lead the fundraising effort, and I have to tell you a little something about that effort. We were told by our consultants that we couldn't raise more than $3 million. We said we have to raise $5 million. They said, well, we'll help you out with the other $2 million, but we don't think you're going to make it. Mike and his team raised $8 million. And that's truly as a result of all the people who have taken ownership of this, who have come to be here today, and who have supported us all the way. The other brilliant move we made was to recruit Julie Kraft. Julie not only makes the trains run on time and everything, this event in particular, but few people have the passion for the project, and that's what it takes in this day and age for all of the options that you have. Julie has driven this project. She's made sure that things get done. She's been an essential part. You know, I have to say, I see Nick Jelinek in the crowd. We just discovered something recently. We thought somebody was hiding the, quote, cornerstone of Sinclair. Nick just came up and said, we don't hide anything. What we have is the cities. You'll see a picture of the cornerstone of Sinclair that will be a part of it. Thank you, Nick, for you and your dad being the historians of New Bow, Czech Village, and the rest of the community. Well, anyway, an idea flourishes when it's a matchstick tossed on a brush pile. And this has been a brush pile for Cedar Rapids, and everybody has pitched in. Now, they say it takes a village. We also know it takes much more. It takes a city. And we have a city, as the mayor has said, that I don't think is like many others, with the support of a city council at every turn, at the support of a quiet but effective city manager, who not only was present in implementing the project, but used his connections with the boards and commissions and leaders around this state to help us raise that $8 million. And quietly goes about assigning the right people to do the right job. Jeff Pomerantz is a quiet leader who has led this community in wonderful ways, and this is one. Jeff, please.
Falling apart here. Thank you very much, Steve. It really is an exciting day for the city of Cedar Rapids and hearing the names and hearing the involvement and just the support for our great community is just inspiring. And so I deeply appreciate just what everybody in this room has done and your belief in the city of Cedar Rapids. So I particularly want to thank Steve because he is quiet most of the time also, but not all the time, because sometimes it takes that ability to stand up and say this is important and this is critical to the future of our community and stay with that goal. I remember when I first got to town, we had one of the MPO meetings, and Steve would come. This is before this project got very far, just in its infancy, and Steve was talking about the bridge, and Steve was talking about what's now known as ConnectCR. So it started with a seed, and that seed grew. I also want to acknowledge Councilmember Dale Todd. He has been an inspiration on this project to the entire community, and it's because of his long-term commitment to this project that we're here today. So I thank Dale for that passion. And I do, it wasn't quite as simple on that $5 million that was referred to. But, you know, I was in the office. This is before Dale was on the council. Mayor Corbett was present, and I was, I don't know if I was told, but I was given great direction that we were looking at about a $5 million. What did you think about that, Mr. City Manager? So it wouldn't have occurred without the tremendous support of the mayor and city council. But again, that commitment by the city really was easy because it's just an amazing project. ConnectCR and Cedar Lake and everything that it stands for in between. So the city was there for $5 million. I also remember when I first got to town, we had a meeting with Tom Aller, and we talked about the lake itself and the vision, and he was supportive of the project, but also knew it would be a tough road. But I appreciate his acknowledgement, and I met with him just recently, and he is very proud of what's happened at this project and the progress that we have made together. Again, we've mentioned the public-private investment and partnership, and I'm just excited that the city will take care of this project, and that's our commitment. It's one thing to build projects like this, but this is also about making sure that it's taken care of for the future. So that is the commitment of myself and future leaders of Cedar Rapids and our mayor and our city council. Today marks an exciting moment, again, creating a new connection between historic neighborhoods, has been said, on both sides of the Cedar River. So that's something that's absolutely vital to our city, to bring our community together. So the mayor talked eloquently about, you know, the symbolism of a bridge as well as the utility of a bridge, but this is also bringing our entire community together in many different ways on both sides of the Cedar River. The Alliant Energy LightLine is a game changer for our city. It's a strong example of the importance, again, of public-private partnerships. ConnectCR will be one of the largest such partnerships in our city's history and our city's future. It's going to be something that we all remember, but also look towards as we build other improvements and make further advancements in our community. We, again, already acknowledge, but want to acknowledge again the ConnectCR team. Mike has become a good friend throughout this entire process, but the entire team, Alliant Energy itself. I remember at one point we were looking for not just the lake, but a donation from the Alliant Energy Corporation, and I had the opportunity to call Mr. John Larson, CEO of Alliant Energy, and we talked about how the company could collaborate. Mary Meisterling was critical to encouraging me to make that phone call to John Larson. She gave me his cell phone number. And it wasn't, let's give this a year to think about. The commitment was there from, as I said, from the beginning, but the enthusiasm was there. So that's very much appreciated. In addition to Alliant Energy, want to acknowledge Mid-American Energy and ITC Midwest, all contributors to this entire project. One of the things Steve mentioned that we helped on some of the fundraising at the city level, but Dale and I took a road trip to Des Moines, and we visited with Mid-American Energy and ITC, and we were very encouraged by the enthusiasm that both of those corporations showed for our project, and both had a major part in bringing the project to life. The state of Iowa, it's always easy to look at our state, and they're there and they support us, but not to really acknowledge what the state has also done for us. And so the state gave us $3 million in a Destination Iowa grant for the area, and a $1 million CAT grant towards the project at Cedar Lake. So those are not small numbers. It took a lot of perseverance, but Debbie Durham and the team at the state of Iowa were very, very supportive of this particular project. With the Destination Iowa funding, we're creating the LightLine Loop. The Alliant Energy LightLine Bridge will anchor the loop, a signature destination where residents and visitors can experience recreation and the outdoors. The loop will continue along the river, New Bohemia, Czech Village, adding several attractions along the way, and the return of a Czech Village roundhouse to the Czech Village area. And we're really excited about that roundhouse. Again, that's another project where we received great support from the state of Iowa to get that accomplished. Mayor, was that $3 million? And so I say that because the initial number was a bit lower, and I've got a good relationship with the state, but I called in our not so secret weapon, but got Mayor O'Donnell involved in making sure that it was acknowledged how important this project is. And so they met our request of $3 million for the roundhouse. It's been talked about for a long time, and it's going to happen, and it's going to get constructed in the next 12 months or so. Together with ConnectCR, all these projects will create the kind of places that make our residents proud to say and proud to be visitors of the city of Cedar Rapids. Finally, I want to thank again our entire community. As city manager, it just gives me a great deal of pride. We're not in this alone, as has been alluded to. We have our private sector partners, we have our public sector partners, but we also have, just in general, the enthusiasm and the commitment of our entire city. And at times when you see, lots of discussion about governmental issues and lots of perhaps discussion at different levels of government about public policies, we can absolutely say that our citizens here in Cedar Rapids have supported absolutely this project and shown the enthusiasm for what the city government and the private sector are accomplishing for our city. People feel the progress. The community feels the momentum. And it's such a great honor for me, and I know our mayor and city council, to serve at a time when we're seeing that kind of momentum and progress. So again, thank you so very much. We appreciate all of you being here. ConnectCR is a big, big thing for Cedar Rapids, and we're so glad that all of you are here to celebrate with us.
Thank you very much.
Back to Mike.
Thank you, Jeff. A couple other folks we'd really like to make sure we thank. The folks, Patrick Alford and the team from Confluence. Is Patrick here? Yeah, way back there. They've been great in bringing the vision to reality as architects and engineers. So thank you, Patrick. Appreciate it. want to thank our fellow board, and I think Steve maybe mentioned them all, but I just want to make sure we don't miss them. Of course, Steve, the sleeping giant, the visionary of the bridge. Felicia Wyrick, she's queen of the lake. So we've got a sleeping giant and a queen of the lake, so this is fun stuff. I got to work on that one too. Lee Clancy, Marcia Rogers, Derek Stepanek, and Tom Peffer. Tom and Felicia and Marcia, Clancy and Lee are not able to make it, but thank you to them. They put in, I couldn't tell you how many meetings we've had, how many calls we made, and anyway, it's just, it's been great. It's really been a joy to work with all of you, so thank you. Congratulations to you all. You know, ConnectCR is, and it was mentioned a little bit about the lake. Thank you for bringing that up, Jeff. But it's really two projects. You know, we talk about reclaiming the heart of our city, and we're connecting it with the lake. And if you haven't been by the lake, flood protection, Dale tells me, is pretty well close to being completed. So the lake will be protected from the flood, and that was really important for people as investors and otherwise that made sure that the work we did wasn't going to be damaged by a future flood. So the lake will be fully protected. If you haven't been down there, there's more than that amount of work going on with Shaver Road Bridge and Cloud Run, and the city has invested, I couldn't tell you how many millions of dollars to improve that water area, that watershed in that area. With more I know to come on some other work in one of the other pools of the lake. But right now the new Lakeside Trail is being built kind of behind the sag wagon, so you go down there and see it. So now no longer do you have to get on a narrow sidewalk and jump on a street and hop around. There'll be a trail all the way around the lake. New fishing jetties being built. And then the other amenities, boardwalk, ADA accessible fishing ramp, all those things are being built now in the next year or so. So we have that to look forward to as the lake will get completed here shortly as well. So you can hear them banging, which is kind of fun, isn't it? So yeah, that is. But again, so take a ride down to the lake. It's really exciting to see what's going on there. You know, our mission for ConnectCR, and I'd like to read it to you, and we started out with this. It's ConnectCR will improve the quality of life in Lynn County and beyond by expanding connectivity for recreation, improving underutilized community assets, leveraging flood mitigation, and creating an iconic symbol for the city. That iconic symbol is getting built right now. So congratulations to one and all that are involved in it. We're going to go over and do a little earth moving. So Julie's going to direct us when we go out. But again, thank you to everybody. It's an honor and a privilege to be up here representing our great community. And I've got the fifth generation McGrath is sitting back there. So when we talk about generations to enjoy these projects, it's pretty close to mine, and I know a lot of your hearts. So thanks so much, and Julie's going to run us through how we're going to do the groundbreaking. So thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Wow, I am just overwhelmed by everyone being here. Thank you so much for coming out here for this day. So here's the plan. We are going to go out this door, and there is a pile of dirt back over this way. But when we go out this door, you're going to take the sidewalk to your right, walk up, and then walk back around. We'll do kind of a follow the leader thing when we get over there. And we have 19 shovels. So what we're going to do the first time around is we're going to do City Council, ConnectCR, anyone you want to join, Steve, and Alliant, hopefully to fit into that first round. Then we'd like the ambassadors to come in for the second photo. And since this is a community project, we're going to kind of take it from there. But if you contributed and you want to be part of this groundbreaking, you want to pitch one of those shovels, we will stay here as long as needed. Ed is here, and I think I have you all day, right, Ed? Yes. So Ed is going to be on top of his truck there. Please don't fall. Getting all of our pictures. He'll be guiding us with that. But our first round will be City Council, ConnectCR, and Alliant Energy. And then we will have ambassadors come in second, and then we'll go from there. Okay? All right. So we're out this door and on our way.
Yes.
I want him to listen.
Okay. And then you went.
ConnectCR board, I think they're going to want to go that way.
Okay. Okay.
Here you are.
Okay, so take it back that way. Yep. So, Julie, your group 2 was your group 1.
Group 2 is bringing the ambassadors behind it.
Oh yeah. Okay, red coats this way.
Mike McGrath. Where's Mike McGrath?
Thanks for being
There he
here.
is. There he is.
Okay, Julie Johnson, ITC, Transamerica. Come on over. Yep, okay. Red coats, you guys can go in? Didn't he say? Do you want the ambassadors now? Oh. Oh, sorry. Oh, I thought he said they were ready. Sorry. Not paying attention. I know.
I'm gonna get like those adjustable like steps things.
I know.